Songs shake me up.
As they should. They shake me up.
You say fine and nice?
No, that's completely above.
All right, so I would like to just to ask that if there's a question, there's a question. If there's a share, let's not share. Let's just keep it. If there's a question about the share, then it keeps the flow. But if there's an additive, then it just moves things around. All right, so ask away. Try to keep it at that, and Zrat Hashem. Okay. So last week we finished off with we're talking about Yaakov Shepadas Avram. That Yaakov activates the midah of Rachmanis. And what's Rachmanis? Rachmanis is Rachmanis is not something that I have mercy on that person because I am stronger and he's weaker, so I'm showing my mercy. That I say, that I say B'chem l'Rabbi is like, thank you Hashem, because technically speaking you can crush me, I'm just an ant and I'm like a cockroach and you didn't, so therefore I'm grateful and you show me your mercy. That's not what Rachmanis is. Rachmanis is the fact that I'm opening up my eyes in the morning. That is a midah of Rachmanis. And you need to meditate on that, you need to be misbonin on that. That's a moment of, as the Alter Rebbe calls it, Vadal Lahavin. You see the Seder in the way the Alter Rebbe writes, he writes and then he throws in a Vadal. So that's a moment to really understand what he's saying, to take it in. So that moment when I wake up in the morning and I open up my eyes, that is a moment of Rachmanis. After that, I go in and I start doing my day. I do tzedakah, I do negelwasser. Before I start that, once I'm activating my midas, once I'm getting into guf mode, I'm getting into body mode, behema mode, that's when I wash my hands and I do Kabbalah soil and I do my whole day and I'm starting. But initially, that's already chasad and gevurah, teferes, balance, netzachoid, which is netzachoid is boots on the ground, like I'm acting out my acts. But Rachmanis is something just opening up my eyes. It's that simple, and I'm in touch with my Creator. I'm present with my Creator. So those moments are very precious. You want to know where Hashem is, how you find Him. How do I find this Creator? This thing that is so huge. It's so, the stars and all that. Once we start becoming sensitive to that, because that too was taken away from us, that we're not sensitive to what we're seeing. We're being distracted. We think that we get excited and we get hispilus from from physical things, right? I don't want to give any childish ideas, any childish examples, like I'm getting excited for my new phone, but let's just say we get excited from our physical, from down, from mata to mata, rather from mata to up. That I'm looking up and I'm being amazed. So as we get more sensitive, we become amazed by what we see outside. You look at a sunset; it's like it's like an artist at its best. I mean, its best. It's magnificent. So, but that too was taken away from us. That we don't get to appreciate our Creator. So when I do Moed Aner, my Rachmanis, after all that, I open up my eyes. I'm one with my Creator. This is where I meet this thing that created us, and He made us so that we think and we have feelings, and He put a gevul in us and a time, so therefore we appreciate. And it's almost like a gravity type of situation when the fact that there's a deadline at the end, there's a gevul. Otherwise, we would never get it, right? But because it's tomorrow. But that too was taken away from us because we think that it's about. I need to do my quota for the month. I have to do this is how much I have to make for the year. But that's not why time was given to us. That's not why Gvul was given to us. Gvul was given to us so that we can turn back, that there's enough of a gravitational pull that I can now turn back and see my Creator. I can see where I'm coming from. Right? So that too, another Amalek. Right? So all these things are just a spin, are just like we said, Choshech has nothing. Choshech is nothing. It doesn't have anything. There's nothing like, okay, if I'm going to do this, then I'm going to get that much. If I do this, then, so I'm making a decision. I have a desire. I'm going to go with this desire. No. There is nothing to Choshech. He has nothing. It's just a joke. It's just the only thing it is. And because there's nothing, once I step into Choshech, it's nothing but pain and torture. Levels of pain. A little pain, more pain. Right? I'm struggling with my parnas, I'm struggling with my this, everything is just one big ball of pain. And that's Choshech, that's all Choshech will give you. And that's called Yinikas Echetzonim. That's where He resides. That's how He gets life, that's where He lives. He lives from our pain. Right? When I'm busy with my shortcomings and with all my restrictions, that's where Paro has the Oirev, and he restricts the Oirev. And I can't breathe properly, which means I can't think properly. And I get stuck in my chitzonias. And when I'm stuck in my chitzonias, I'm in pain because I'm not fully lit. I'm half lit. And when that happens, there's Yinikas Chitzonim. And I'm in pain. So the Rachmanis is that I'm opening up sensitivity, just being present in the morning. That is the Midah of Rachmanis. So this is what we finished last week. So so we're going to go now, we're going to start explaining a little more what's going on. All right, Vehine. As well. All right, Hine Gimel Midas Elu. Any questions? We're good? Hine Gimel Midas Elu Vav Midas. These 3 midas, they're Vav, they're 6 midas. We just finished off that there is Chesed, Gevurah, Teferes. Avram is Chesed, Yitzchak is Gevurah, Yaakov is Teferes. So says the Alter Rebbe is going to explain now. So remember now, we're stepping into the world of coding. We're stepping into the world of how, don't just learn it to know what Purim. There's another layer here that just start seeing it the way the Alter Rebbe saw the world, the way Tzaddikim saw the world, the way Hasidim saw the world. Right? We should do this. This is what he's telling you, that my midas, my chesed, my gevurah, this is all connection with where we come from, Yudke, Vavke. It's as simple and as complicated as that. Right? It's as simple. We are letters, we're kodesh, we're aleph beis, we're holy letters, and there's pieces of Torah in us, and this is who we are. These 3 midas have vav midas keneged avav. There are 6 midas keneged avav from Yudke, Vavke. He's going to explain everything. Shebeshem. From the name Yikavavke, Shebeshtalshel Samidis, Atzaf Hamasa, Yesh Gamkin Gimel Bechinas El. These 3 midas in a Shtalshel Samidis, as midas also, they start descending, they start coming down from up there. Up there, it's like Betachas Apshitis, right? It's just like oil. Then it turns into Chesed Gevurah Teferes. And then as it comes down lower, it comes down, how does it manifest? How does it manifest? Atzaf Hamasa, Yesh Gamkin Gimel Bechinas El. Vehem Bechinas Torah Vavoide Gimel Chasadim. Torah avoid Gemilas Chasam, the Haina. Hachanas Alev, Va'oris Amidis, Lias Tachas Shleimus Amazah, to prepare my heart and to be misoider, to wake up my midas. Lias Tachas Shleimus Amazah, there should be the Tachas Shleimus Amazah, Shetzorach Lias Besumcha B'Tuv Levav. The key to stepping into to how our Creator operates, to get into His mood after Chemla. What happens after that? Simcha. When I'm besimcha, that's when He can flow through me, like the purest way. Gemilas Chasadim is tzedakah. Gemilas Chasadim, this is tzedakah. Shenem v'layeri lavavcha, that your heart should not be, don't hold back, don't bring not good from your heart. So that's Gemilas Chasadim. Avodah ksiv tachas ashalei vav the besimcha. So we know that avodah is connected with simcha. That I need to do my avodah in simcha. Torah k'mam lazal v'chein ledvar alavim. I don't remember off the top of my head the pasuk for the Torah, but we can look it up soon. Let me see if I said it before. Yeah. I guess. Vehem Gimel Kavim. Yamin, Smil, Ve'emtza. These are the 3 Kavim, the 3 Tzinoris, right side, left side, and the center. Okay, Mimina Eish Das Lame. Mimina Hu Gemilas Chasadim. The right side, this is Gemilas Chasadim. It's Tzedakah Chesed Deroi Yamina. Tzedakah and Chesed is the right hand. Eish, fire, he beginas Gevurah. Deroi is smaller. Vu Keneged Avodah, she Avodah is not Tefillah. So we know Tefillah is Gevurah. It has to be with fire. We have to daven with fire because it's from the heart. Remember, Avodah is Tefillah. Tefillah is Avodah Shebelev. Right, so people will go into davening and we start making cheshbonis and halten cup. No, it's avodah shebelev. You have to tap into your heart. It's completely opposite of being on your head. You have to go into the heart. It's all about what I'm feeling, my connection, my love to any type of love that I have, any type of passion and desire that I have. I can really take that into, this is how I love my Creator. And if I love a specific thing, I can use that as a tool I love that, but behind that is my Creator. So everything is just the kavanah. You just need to switch it around and you're there. Mimina hu ginus chans doker chester mina eish eish beginnes gewird der smaller hu keneged avoide shu avoide sat fila she kara kabalas el nachshmaim hi ayerb ne machus is barach kemelch amedalef khuli. So tefillah, this is Kabbalah Shel Malchus Shemayim. Kabbalah Shel Malchus Shemayim, this is Yira. Why is Kabbalah Shel Malchus Shemayim Yira? Because when I'm afraid, in order for me to accept what you are telling me without any questions asked, I have to have fear. Like I'm in awe of this person, I'm not going to ask any questions. I'm just doing it. right? So tefillah is the gevura, and it's on the left side. So how does this work? How do I turn on my heart to be present? I have to imagine that I'm in the presence of my Creator. Right, I know what's in the way of that. What's in the way of that is that if I can't see him, he's not here. Where is he? How far is he? It's so far away. It's between me and my goals of how successful I'm going to be in business. That's where my Eibishter, that's where I find my Eibishter. Because I said, if I make $1 million, I'm going to give so much and so much. So my Eibishter is that far away from me. Right, so this is how we measure. But that's wrong. He's standing, when I have Kabbalah Zoil, it's right now. It's not, he's not there. Because if I had to wait to meet him over there, that means I have to go through a process of Ava and Yira, and it's a spiel. Then I decided, after a year, I came to my senses that there is an Eibush, that is my Melech is here. When the Melech walks into the house, this is it. He doesn't have to be here, he's coming. It's already, there's fear, like he's coming. Let me put together, let me make sure everything is in place, right? So forget about the fact that he can kill me. Forget about that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about just the reverence and that the Melech is coming. So when a Yid goes to daven, he has to understand that when I am talking, he's listening. He's right here with me. It can't be any other way. The same way the breath is giving me life, the same way the breath is giving me. When I breathe, it's a live thing. I don't see it. That's how delicate it is, and then some. The strongest life force that we know is not the guy that can lift 1,000 pounds. It's a little breath of fresh air. So we have to switch our minds. Choshech wants us, is misleading us. I'm looking for the strongest and fastest and biggest and most successful thing, the biggest noise. That's what. No, it's Kol Demam Adaka. Right? It's Kabbalah Soil. He's right here. He's present with me. He's always here, and I just have to go for it. I have to jump into it. Believe it, and then it starts developing. Yeah. All right. He says that you should put a melech upon yourself. You should imagine that the melech is standing in front of his eyes. And through that, there will fall a year will fall in him. He'll have a fear. The whole you see they're alive here too. So too, when the person puts in his heart, in other words, Yira is because, like we said before, it's because Kerves Hadavar Hanoir, it's close to me, right? It's right here. I don't need to see it with my own eyes. I know that if I jump off the bridge, if someone jumps on the bridge, he's going to die, right? It's right in front of your eyes. You don't need to experience it in order to see it. The water doesn't have to be closer to you in order to chap it. It's self-understood, right? So this is how you need to see the Melech. Remember, all these things that we see in life, they're all mashalom to bring us to the bigger picture, right? The same fear that I have when a dog is barking, that's the fear I need to have of my Creator.
So there is no preparation needed to fear or to daven, because he's here.
I'll tell you like this: it's the way it was taught is that there is preparation. It's years of learning and practicing it. I think it can be very simple. I don't think it needs to be any more that way. So we're going to keep it very simple. It's as simple as that. It's the same way I want to cross the street and there's a car coming. I cannot. It's that's actually a wrong marshal, because I don't see fear in that. I see rather pain in that. That's not what it is. It's the fear that I have that one has to jump off a building. The fear of just to let go. It's that same fear when a dog barks at me. When a dog barks at me and I jump up, that's the type of fear that I need to have from my melech. And that thing barked at me to wake that thing up, to make me realize that I have it within me.
So again, you're saying barked, and the dog barks, right? Is that like that kind of reaction? That fear comes from a different place. It comes from from my life.
Right.
That's what I'm supposed to have from my Creator.
No, that shows you your relationship with your Creator.
I mean,
How out of tune you are with your Creator. The fact that I'm jumping from the dog when he barks, that means that I have a very immature relationship, because if I'm in a relationship with my Creator, then I know that this dog cannot bark unless my Creator is doing through him. All right, and when he barks at me, and I know that my Creator is in that dog, in that kelev, then I look at it. Oh, what is he saying to me? He's giving me an assertiveness now that I need to be mindful. He's giving me can be a matana, like he's bringing me back to mindfulness that his presence is here, right? It wakes up that type of ear in me. Or, I was Messiah less. I wasn't present. I wasn't mindful. I was afraid of this. Why is this thing? This thing can't hurt me, unless I deserve it. Unless I need to get this message. So it has But once I am aware of that, and I'm present with that, then I don't jump from the dog when it barks. It's more of it's a mindfulness. Okay.
So the same thing when I cross the street and I see a car coming. I mean, I know that Hashem is giving him the power now to drive, but if it's bashert for me to live, then he's gonna stop an inch away from me.
So there's Ein Sam Chalon Nes, the famous one, right? That you don't rely on an S, because once you do that, remember something. In real time, there is a scan that goes right through it. How much power do you have to stop that power? How much koyach do I have to stop that incoming right here? And who wants to go through that type of tally and use up all my coins, my strength for this? Why would it? Now again, we may have to pull out. If it's a time, it's a time, right? But just to put myself to use up my bank account doesn't make any sense. But yes. Again, there's still bechira, there's still room to move around here. Everything is him.
Can you go deeper on this? Why do I need to use up coins in order that Hashem should make me a nes? I mean, he wants to give me life. What's the whole idea of using up coins, of using up the credit? I mean, he wants to give life, he wants to produce, that's why I'm here. So, was du hab's a cheshbon for them?
No. So first of all, he wants to give you life, but he did not tell you to go jump in front of the car. Why jumping in front of the car? What's the point? Why? What's the purpose in jumping in front of the car? Everything has amshacha. Everything has isra shel eila, isra shel asata. It has a mati v'loy mati. We're going to bring it. It's coming up soon. There's a ratziv v'shuv. There's a program here. When I say something, it goes up all the way up there, and then from that comes all the way down, and then we start a cycle. So now I'm doing this cycle, and all of a sudden I stop that flow by stepping in, and I'm like, I need right now, I need an extra amount of oil to come down, right? So there's a story of one of the Tanam that he comes outside and he sees that the kids are kicking around bread on the floor, right? In the Gemara, it's a story. So he said, look, the Yidden are not being respectful of the fruit. He's like, stop the rain. That's it. It didn't rain for like I don't know how long. Augustal the rain. Then the Yidden come to cry like, hello, so now he starts davening. So now comes out the Vasco is like, all right, what's going on over here? Who is the one that's matriach me? He's starting, he's stopping. What's going on over there? Right. So what? He didn't have enough. He didn't want to make a nest. But there's still at the end of the day, there's a system in place that the way it works. Otherwise, that's our program. That's the system we run on. We can choose to go with the other system, go from the other side, and I don't need to apply myself to that. And this is what Clip is doing. They want to spin everything that I don't need to tally it up. I invest and I take back. That's what Haman wanted. He wanted to get on top. Reishis Amalek. He wanted to go on top, and then he starts taking everything in, and there's no cheshbon because we're going to it's kachshech koyer, right? Up there's kachshech is koyer. Light and dark makes no difference. It's the same thing. Yaakov and Esav are the same, and it's very frightening in a sense. What it means is because the Eibishter is so tachas apshitas that he's everything, and then he can tolerate anything. Now, Haman saw that, and he's like, okay, let's get rid of these yiddles over here. So enough is enough. And then we go, let it be kashecha. Why does it have to be oire? Because if it's oire, we're losing. If it's kashecha, we're winning. The only thing he didn't chap is that because he's a klipper, so he's stuck in his own head. So the only thing he didn't chap is that kashecha oire. But as it starts coming down, there is kashecha and there's oire. To him, it doesn't make a difference. But as it comes down, our system, right? Imagine that if he would run the show, our world, and then it's kashecha oire, it makes no difference if it's light or dark. We'd all be out of business over here, right? At the end of it, like kashecha oire, but I put in a system, a place, and I give such freedom. So that's what. But as it came down, with Haman, that was right? It flipped around in him.
Moshe, someone asked about if there's a preparation for davening, or it didn't seem like you implied that you don't need preparation. So now, being now in the time, like what, just so close to Mashiach, this other stuff is more.
Yeah, it's
because I mean, preparation for tefillah was a huge thing, and
yeah, that's not what I meant. Preparation. I meant preparation is that we need years of practice of trying to see and understand and start feeling the greatness. Like I tell you, look up at the sky. What do you see in the sky there? The stars. Okay, no. Oh, Marabi Masecha Hashem, Kechavim, Monim, Misvela Kechavim. Okay, thank you. I didn't expect anything less from you. You created the world. Okay, so you make 1 billion stars. Make 20 billion stars. I'm not mispoiled from it. Like a big ocean. What? Okay. If you couldn't make this, I wouldn't be so impressed. Now I'm a little more impressed. Like we're so disconnected. So it takes years to develop a sensitivity to that. So I said, now we don't need to go through that.
if you want to connect, you can
Just connect. That's it. Just wake up that he's right here. Right? It's everywhere.
Okay,
Yeah. No, it's a good point. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So too, Yira is something that when the thing is close to me, so too when I'm going to put in my heart, how big Ein Sof is, Shuhu Ad Ein Kates, B'tachlis, he's Ein Kates all the way up there, and there's no Tachlis down here. For Alpha Piken, Maloi Chalot, Halazar Gashmis, Hu Kavode. This thing, this creator that has Ein Kates all the way up there, and Ein Tachlis, there's no Tachlis, no Kates. And in Kolzeh, there's one place that we can see it, that there's purpose, there's Gvul, and this is down here. We are in the Kavod program. He's the Melech, and we give him the Kavod. This is how we operate. And once you recognize that this huge thing that created all this, and I'm able to touch and feel, and I'm able to experience and experiment and express. All right, all of a sudden you start realizing this should tikva is like it should be kaveah in your head. In your heart, you should have a fear in your heart, or right in front of my eyes. I'm recognizing that he's everywhere. It's everywhere. In Kabbalah Zel Malchus Shemayim, the inner of Kabbalah Zel Malchus Shemayim, the Hanam Shachas Malchus is Baruch Lamata, to be Moshe here, Malchus here, but Achtoinen, Hagam Sha'ach Kabbalah Malchus Shemayim B'Kriya Shema Nemer Ve'afto. At first, there has to be nimshach with this ahava that he should want to connect. I'm going to explain in a minute. So, the question is as follows: that Kabbalah Samach Shemaim is that I have fear, right? I'm taking on like my melech is right in front of me. And then I go into Krishma V'Yaseh V'Yahavta. We're going into Ahava right away. So the author was trying to explain there. How does this work? I have fear, and then I'm going right away into the Ahava. He wants to connect what is the Avodah and what is the Yiridah. And then as we know, V'Yahavta is Ava, and V'Hoyim Shemoy is Gevura, is Chesed Gevura. And they switch letters. There's a mimer about it. They switch up the letters about Ve'ahavta is Ava, but it's the Oisius from Chesadim. And then V'hoya is Gevuras, but it's an Oisius of Anabakoyach, right? 72 letters in V'hoya. Gelakje betchillen nish was a havlos man. Vaka keshut zel dafke bo vi yasam liblis bo in migdalos is barach v'shula matik mo elamala. So now that he wants to connect with it, right? So I have Yira, Ava, and then I go right back into Yira. And from that, I'm realizing, wait a second, this thing that is everywhere, he's up there, he's down here just the way he's up there. So I'm dealing here not with an Eibishter that is miles and miles away from us. He's right here, he's everywhere. That should put a fear. All of a sudden, it's like Hashem is everywhere, he's running everything. As I nimshach was Yira, Kedachsev Avram Heledes Yitzchak, it says Avram is geboren Yitzchak. What is it supposed to come to teach us? Yitzchak ben Avram. It already says Yitzchak is the son of the Zin of Avram. The Midas Yitzchak is geboren geworden from the Midas von Avram. She'ein Midas Yitzchak he hayira Midas b'fnei atzma, Midas Avram b'fnei atzma. Ele kol Midas shebekdushu hem achdas echad ve'en ben pirat chas v'shalom. All the midas in Kedusha is all yichud, and there's no period. So, this is a very, very fundamental of it. This is the key over here. So the way it works is so we have the Ava, and we have the Yira. Yitzchak, after Avram finished his chesed all the way, and he went all the way down to Yishmael, only then was Gevura able to kick in. Okay? In Kedusha, the whole thing is Agos, which means it's as follows.
Yeah, Yitzchak.
After Avram had Yishmael.
Yeah.
So after he gave a proper bidder, he went all the way down he had such chasadim in himself that he was able to tolerate even something like Yishmael. He saw Eibishter and everything, even in Yishmael. He's like that too. Then from them comes out Yitzchak, right? Last week's Nekuda. And then Yitzchak goes, he has such gevura, he's so fire, and he sees Eibishter and everything in the day, in his hardship and everything, all the way up to the peak of Olam HaToyim, and he meets Esav, his son. Even that he was able to tolerate. Esav was beloved to him because he saw Eibishter and everything. He was able to tolerate everything with his gevura. That type of gevura is. Like Esav didn't phase him. Okay, he was able to. Even that's Eibishter. Like Gam Kiel Regetz Almois, like the dog barks at me. Like even that is Eibishter. It had such yira for Eibishter. Like this is also your creation. This is also you. There too is you. And where myself do I need to release? Do I need to have Kabbalah soil and surrender that I can tolerate that too is you? Like who am I, Bechlal? Like Avram went as far that Enoiche Aver ve'efer, that the Torch Kivshan Eish, the fire had no shlit on him, right? Because he was that bottled. Yitzchak goes the opposite. He fires all the way up. That Esav is Esav Harasha, right? Rashi Esav. He's causing us everything we're doing is because of him. But Yitzchak was even that he was able to tolerate. Even that he saw one as well. Now, what happens is that if I for 1 second disconnect from my echad, from what's above me, that's Amalek. Because then it goes into my own midas, like it's my gevura, my chesed. And remember, we spoke about this, that Avram had such bittul that he went to offer ve'efer, and let's just say if he would have done it only because, let's say I'm doing everything, but because the Eibishter promised me he's going to give it to my kids. The Eibishter promised me they're going to be the Yershim of everything, of me, of my highest consciousness. They're going to be the Olav Moshe, the first one. And that's why Avram did it. He couldn't even do it for that. Because if he did it for that, then he already did it for something. And that's also ego. Where do we see that?
That he survived.
That he went into the fire and he survived. Because even the fire had no shlita in it. He was so batal and vital that he was completely see-through. Fire was nothing to him. Right? That's the level he reached. Okay? So, now, if Avram for 1 second would have done it for himself, then that's already mechasa. He's already not there. But our others, they nailed it. Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. That's why we have open doors. We can go all the way to it. We can we're there.
That's why we can do it for our kids. We have
to be mamshech his. It's not for us. It's for him, right? Because we said earlier, Yaakov brought the light to Avraham and Yitzchak, and now we're able to. Yes, very good. All right, he's going to explain it in a minute. Yeah, so we said the Kedusha Ayel Kol Midas Kedusha Hem Agdas Echel Vein Behem Pirit Chadashim. Geen Beinen HaKarbana, and this Ari the Eshe, the Ochel Karbana Beginnes Pnei Ari Yelamin, the Eshe Beginnes Gevuras. All right, so we have by the Karbanas, we have the light flick the Rukaman, loose to come down. It's like S and the Karbunas from the Mizbach.
So the fire looked like a line.
It looked like a line, yes. So Pnei Ari Yelamin, the Eshe Beginnes Gevuras. Fully. Begin Avodas Alavim Bashir, who Beginnes Stalkas Gevuras Memata Lamala. Right, when the Levim were singing, what was going on over there? They were moving oil, they were moving energy upward, pushing up gevuras. There's the shears, gevuras. Beginnes is talking gevuras from mata lamala, sending up gevuras from down here up there. So as we send up our gevuras, what comes down? Comes down Eibishter's, chasadim. V'achayis rotzav v'shuv, v'nikir beginnes mati v'loy mati. So there's a famous thing in Cheskel saw by the Markova. He saw that the Chayes that went back and forth. Right? What is this Rotzav V'shuv? Rotzav V'shuv is that our whole avodah is in Rotzav V'shuv. Right? I'm doing, and then I'm coming back. I'm doing, and then I'm coming back. And then also the Mati V'loy Mati. Mati V'loy Mati.
You mean coming back? You mean we fell? Falling?
Not falling, but I am doing a pe'ila, and then I'm eating off of that pe'ila. We'll do examples as they come up. I'll point that out to you. And then there's the mati v'loy mati, which is also in Chassidus. It talks a lot about it. Mati v'loy mati is something that it touches and it doesn't touch. Okay. So what does it mean mati v'loy mati? So we'll do a small little walkthrough. So there's 4 levels. You have Yira Tata, you have Avos Olam, Averabba, and Yira Elah. And then there's Khan Rabba Kohen and Shelian, but those are Keser. Sarah, it's going to be a while longer, or you almost done? Okay, thank you. So the word is as follows. So what happens is that the perfect example of explaining, a good example of explaining Yira the Torah is as follows. You have the sun, and the strahl was coming out from the zin, the ray that comes out from the sun. The rays of the sun, the strahl was coming out from the zin, it is north from the zin, right? It's just a connection, it's a flashlight, right? I'm shining my light. I'll put it on here. Let's put on the light. Right? So I have the light. And this is the light right here. This is the light. Okay. Now imagine this light goes, this guy right here, and is zooked. Who am I? What am I made out of? Why am I thinking that way? My mother, my father, this, that. So, and for years he goes around and he's trying to understand himself. He's trying to find himself. All of a sudden, he has a breakthrough and he realizes that he is not really anything. He's nothing. He's just a continuation from this.
Right.
Okay? So, what happens is that we walk around all our lives and we go like, who am I trying to figure out? Within from my chatzonis, I'm trying to figure out, right? Because I'm living in absolute restriction. I'm living in Mitzarim. I'm in Pari. Pari is choking me. So I'm going from there, and I'm like down here, and I'm like, who am I? Well, I'm trying to figure out. Maching this, yes, and I made them out. All of a sudden, he has a moment of clarity. He ends up in a workshop or whatever, and it's open. Now he sees. He's like, wait a second. There's a whole bigger picture to me. Breathe in, he breathes in. Okay, so the moment you have this is called Yira Tata. All of a sudden I realize that I'm not myself. I'm not there. I belong to something. Okay? So as I have this, I'm starting to look at other people also, and I'm like, it's not anymore about me playing monkey with myself. There's this guy also. This is another, interesting connection. It's not about me. I'm starting to see out of myself. So as I'm realizing that, I'm going to Avos Olam. I'm starting to get intrigued by everything. Like, wow, this is so interesting. Like the sun and then the stars. I'm becoming appreciative, and I see people. I see personalities, another expression. Right? It's not just about me. It's not just about me making $1, me feeding Havav. Clip is all about me. Like I'm able to see, I'm able to connect. From this, I develop Ahavas Olam. I'm falling in love with like, wow, there's everything. There's Eivishter, there's everywhere. Like my Creator is everything. There's purpose in everything. As I'm going, once I have Ahavas Olam, because I'm already open, I'm already tolerating everything, I'm going into a more of an Achdus program. I'm starting to see everything as unity. Everything is an organism of my Creator. I go into Yirei Allah. I have such love, such passion for my Creator, such desire to connect with Him, that I go into Yirei Allah. Now, what's Yirei Allah? Yirei Allah is our highest. That's our highest level of process, because technically speaking, from Avas Oila, from Ave Rabbe, I shouldn't be here anymore. There's already a nichlal. I'm already going back into my source, right? I don't take up any place because I see everything is one, right? And from that place, I should be nichlal. Like before we were created, I go back to my source. So the Eibishter, the Creator, with his rachamim, because he wanted us to experience Him, he put like a valve. How much I can take. I can go till Klas HaNefesh. The tzaddik almost at Klas HaNefesh. What pulled him back? Yireh. Yireh Allah Pshat is, as he was he was climaxing, he was becoming one with his source, he had a moment like, this is so much more pure than me. This is Kuddush and Muvdul. Like it's Muvdul. It's not even the highest level of purity that I have. That is even quieter. It's something completely else. As I'm having that moment, I'm like, me, who's going to come close over here? Who's going to have the audacity to come close to me? So as I'm having that moment, I jump back. I have a Yireh moment. I'm like, I'm not worth it. Me Allah Bahar Hashem. All right? So when I'm jumping back, now I'm back and I'm like, okay, I'm afraid, but I want it. And I start waking up my desire again. So I go back to it again. This is called Ratzu V'Shuv. And this is called Mati V'Loi Mati. Right? So I'm going to the level where I'm climaxing and I want to explode. But then I'm like, I have the audacity to go close to this. Yireh. I shrink up and I come in. I come back to myself. Come back to myself, and then I build up again and I go further.
That's for tzaddik. What is Ratzu V'Shuv in our daily? We never get to the experience, to that level. Like I should, to class. I mean, I want.
Purim. That's why he's saying it now.
We had little ones like JTH. You experienced some rotza more than you had before, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're davening, you feel like something.
True.
Or you just have like you just love your kid. Like it's not in the. You just have tremendous. It's like a moment.
I'll give an explanation. But thank you for saying that. I love the kid. Yeah, because that brings me to an example. Sometimes we'll listen to a song. Or whatever it moves you. You have love for your kid. I'm going crazy, right? I'm going crazy, and to the point where you listen to the song again and again, and then just that is a moment of klippah. Because I'm supposed to, if I was to channel it properly, I get to a point where I get into a moment of klas and nefesh, or the way to build it is to be within your means. To just channel it properly. Don't get into the point where it becomes an agonizing type of thing. Just be present with it.
What do you mean agonizing?
Where it becomes like an agony, like it's so good. Like I wish I can hear that again. If you would squeeze it more, and if you would play that lick and that riff different, right? So you get into
go
that.
into the gashmias of it.
Exactly. So that's another point of where you get to a point where it's klas for you, but because it's klas of klippah.
It's close.
To the point of nichlal, I'm completely out of my...
Close on that.
Close on nefesh, yes. Right? But it's not really, I shouldn't say klippah because it depends where it's coming from. It's just teaching us how to channel, to get into it. Mm-hmm. It's called...
You mean like an LSD trip or something?
Something.
What?
Something like that.
No, where it's not ground. It's like totally, it's like not going anywhere. It's just want to escape or something like that.
So the tzaddik does the same thing, doesn't he?
No, the tzaddik is full of kedusha. He goes all the way to the top. He doesn't have any.
Right. When does he start?
He goes to Shema. He goes to Bashmaya Yisrael. He has klos and nefesh. He goes completely echad. He's completely surrendered.
That's when
Mati v'loi mati. Yes.
happens, and then
Then he comes back. Then he says "Ve'ahavta," and then he says and then he goes into complete love,
listening again.
Ava, and then it goes back to Yira. Then it goes back to Ava in Yira. It goes
And
back
he
and
comes down
forth.
and takes Kvitlach from you guys.
Right, and then it brings down the Shefa, but it goes back and forth. That's how the whole davening is set up.
But listening again to that song, let me hear that C again.
No, that's good, but feel it. Don't panic about it. Don't be like, I wish, sometimes we feel that the guy missed the point, right? And it starts getting like channel it and be present with it. That's good. No, of course, that's the proper way to do it. That is the way to do this, to be present with it, to hear it again, to listen again. But maybe it's not a good example. But it's being present with what I'm experiencing.
Don't get caught up in if it's not happening.
When a person cries, that means that he's above his means. He's out of his midas. He's higher than what he can process. It's not a bad thing. There's happy tears. There's also sad tears. There's good, healthy tears. But that is an example of overriding, getting more than what I can handle. Right? When do I laugh? When it's so funny that I can't hold the energy and I start laughing. When do I cry? When it's so this, or when I'm so happy, I'm so excited that I start crying. I'm expressing myself in a different way. I'm screaming out of excitement. Right? If you've been to Uman Rosh Hashanah, you can experience this. You can hear people just going around screaming, just screaming.
But
All
some
night.
people feel it.
No, they feel it. I'm
really-
not talking about the guys that just scream. I don't think anybody just screams. They're all feeling it. I'm saying it's an overload of
pushing
emotion.
yourself to feel it. Maybe,
No,
is this what you mean? Pushing yourself to cry.
No. Let's just leave it for now. We'll get an example as it comes. But the bottom line is we get the idea of a mati v'loy mati. And if regular people can do it, listen, the Alter Rebbe says that you can. I mean, listen, it's a system. It's a voida. It's a voida. You have to get it, and then you have to be zoter. And we all pray for that. And ultimately we hope one day to be zoter, to have this. Okay, all this is the begin of Eish. The begin is das hu kav hamutza. The das is the kav hamutza center line. He begin is atayres. Shenikir tayres emes. Hashem sha'osis emes. The letters emes hem aleph berosh sha'osis. Emem be'emtzem. V'tuv b'soifa. Shem begin is mavrich manakotze lakotze. It goes from one end to the other. V'zeh medas she'Yaakov shenem metitan emes le'Yaakov. Yaakov is emes. And emes had given for Yaakov. And emes goes from one end to the other. What does that mean? From one end to the other. That means that in this whole craziness, in this whole world, and all the Gashmis and all the Choshech and all that, there's something called Am Yisrael that have Yaakov, which are the Midaf and Emes, and this Creator has a straight line down our spine. That's what that means. The Bria Chatichan. We go from one. I can be sitting in my car. We can eat kugel, and we're connected to that thing that runs the brains. That thing that runs the world. We have a straight line, straight connection. And everything that we go through, that a person is suffering, or God forbid, should be everything that we go through is just a communication from our Creator to bring us back to Him, to see Him. That's everything that's happening. And it's okay to say, we are humans, we don't know, we're learning how to walk, we're learning, He's teaching us.
The bar that was in Mabriach in the basement.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
It was
what
mentioned last
that
week.
was. Yeah.
He's just
In the Mishkan, that's exactly what that was. Yeah. Yeah. V'zeh melat Yaakov shnem titan amis Yaakov. V'zeh lamay perish elav lamay and polemish nimshach miminoy eish das lamay. They lachze lekasher elav is barach adei medat Yaakov mavrich melakatze lekatze. In other words, that he's eish das lamay. He sends it out. And then, how that it should come back to him? How? Through Midas Yaakov. Who's Midas Yaakov? We are. Okay, and all this we're building again. We're building to get to there are certain days that we're able to, once you learn how to ride the bike, you know how to ride the bike. So there's certain Yom the Pagars that we're able to tap into that. So the Alter Rebbe is giving us the map as to what's happening in Purim. How am I going to tap in to this Kavam Tzoy, to Titan Emes Yaakov? How do I celebrate this Purim that I can feel my Creator? And that's why we go to Adol Yada. Because Kachashech HaKoyer, where am I going to experience Kachashech HaKoyer? Where am I going to experience that light is just like darkness, that it makes no difference? only when I'm knocking my ego out. Because when I'm in ego world, chashecha is chashecha and oire is oire. Right? So I have to go to Adalayad. I have to go to a place where I have zero judgment. Nothing. How do I get to a place that I have zero judgment? When I take enough l'chaim, that I have zero judgment. That's what it is. Now, personally, listen. There's the Adalayad. Personally, I feel that it should be just enough that you can process. I mean, if you want to knock yourself out, that's fine. That's another way to do this. You know, it's a mahalach. You know, you knock yourself out, and then what you do is, when you wake up, have the believe that you touched. You went to mati, you touched, and that should give you the fire to be able to light up to go.
Okay.
But if you come back and it's gewoon gedrinken and you threw up, ik maak dat mes, man, you're missing the point. So you have a choice. Either you go to Adalayada, and when you wake up, no matter what of course you're going to be sick because your body just had an ego death. You went completely out. And if I killed my behemoth, he's going to ache in the morning. When I wake up, he's going to ache. Right? So then it could either that or drink just enough that you can process and enjoy a moment of mati v'lo mati, where I have just simcha, and I don't fear anything, because when I'm fully connected, I see I'm all in the pain comes from period, when there's separation. When I'm fully connected to my source, I'm connected. I'm recharging. My battery is full. I have no pain, nothing, and that you carry in. And this year it's going to be good. We have Purim, we can have Shabbos, and we have Sunday. We have enough days to not to recover, but to process what we downloaded, not to be right away going back to party, like to distract us again.
How do we keep
Like this, like get out with a simcha. It's easier to break our atzvus now. It's very easy because it's other. You can feel it. There's moments of atzvus, and you feel we have extra energy to just break. I have a choice. I can get down on myself, or I can just be like, no, everything is good. It's going to be amazing, and it is amazing, and everything is simcha.
the moment of yichud is not like to really feel the I know it milvado, like this is it. It's only him, and everything is him.
So that's
and
all.
This is where it starts, and this is where it finishes, and.
But you have to build to that. I mean, that's what it is. It's the same thing. That's your mati v'lo mati. I know milvado. That everything is him. And if you have an Ein Mavada moment, then I have no fear. My parnasa, my home, my everything is him. Listen, the Alter Rebbe says it in Tanya that you have to come to a point that even your wife and kids don't make a difference. They're not in your way. And it's a very controversial, so this quote, controversial type of topic that I think the Rebbe tried to explain, because it's a little wild. What do you mean? I can just check out, I'm going to leave my house and I'm going into his buddies and I'm out. So the Vart is 9. The Vart is that as we're going through a transition, sometimes our loved ones are the ones that are mostly in our way. What do you mean? How can we do this? We're not going to have money. We're not going to make. And so my loved ones. So even that, I can't let them. I have to understand that too is just to push me further. Hashem Nisa Avram, right? That too is here to wake me. I will take care of them. They're a part. They're one of me, and he's one of me. So it's just another trigger to throw us into a deeper relationship with our Emunah program, which is the ultimate program, the Emes, Mariach, Manakatsa, Lakatsa, and all that good stuff.
Moshe Rabbeinu did that. He left everything.
In which way?
He left his family.
They put him in the water. He didn't leave his family. They
No,
throw him in the water.
Afterwards,
when
before
he
Kabbalah
was
Sataya.
Yisro,
Mm.
that whole mess.
Hey,
Right?
listen, he was a busy man. You guys, if you have a direct line to Creator,
It's his youth today, Moshe.
Zion.
Handel's Ches.
Zion. It was Friday.
Right.
It's still today. We have
So
candles.
happened.
Is er normaal katoen,
Wow.
no?
Yeah.
Is er normaal katoen, no?
All right, let's go. Let's cover the piece. Hine, kol vav midas anal hu beginnes vav. I'm going to go into how it fits with the letters, the program. Okay. All the 6 midas that we just explained above, hu beginnes vav, is the beginner of vav shebashem avai baruch hu. The midas are connected. Avai yitke vav ke. The vav is 6 midas. The beginner is hahei shebashem hine tmunas. V'tzuras hahei hen gimel kavn shnei kavn chaborim Hashem beginnes machshav v'dibur. Hashem beginnes machshav v'dibur. Meise. So hast azoi. the hay has three lines, right? The hay is up, sideways, and then the little leg on the bottom.
Two verticals.
Exactly. So you have this is a gilul kavon. So you have machshava. Once the machshava dibber, and then the separate one is ma'isa. A kumashkas of afasisi, also made. Kumashkas of makamacher. By inish etzorach laam shebechinas aval bechinas ahei. You have to pull the 6 midas down to the hay. Shehu lias milibashim machshava dibber ma'isa shi mamolim and amidas the kedusha. In other words, our avodah is to take our machshava dibber ma'isa, to take the vav, the 6 midas from the vav, and pull it into our hay. To the machshava dibber ma'isa. So my whole machshava dibber ma'isa is a machshava dazan about Eibishter, dibber dazan about Eibishter, and my ma'isa should be kulul Hashem. And this is how I'm bringing in oir in the Welt, and I'm making this connection. Vine yesh ha'hei b'milei ha'yacheres shemili shehu ha'helen. There's also you can do with mili, you can do yudke vavke, and I can spell the hey. I spell out the hey, so it's hey, right? I'm spelling it out, right? So, but the second when I say hey, I'm saying 2 heys, but you only hear one. So the second one is silence. It's you don't hear me express it, but it's in there, right? Follow? Then yesh ahed b'milei hey acheres shamila shehu ha'helen. It's behelem. Shehu bechinas hey hamachshava. That's the machshava. Ki kamoshi yash hey mitzvos v'dibbe. Just like there is the 5 expressions of the mouth, that is from the throat, from the tongue, the ups and the teeth and the lips. Kachem machshava. So too there is in Shama Shemashu Machashav Umedavar. Right? In the Machshava, the Alter Rebbe is revealing to us that there's also 5 expressions of Machshava, the way Machshava expresses its letters. There's the letters are divided in 5. Aleph, Bez, Gimel, the lips, and then you have from the throat, and then you have from the tongue, and you have from the gum, that you need to use that in order to express it. Machshava has the same thing. Vayash Hey B'mili Aleph. There's also a Hey that I can spell with an Aleph. I can say Hey that has Hey in it. I can say Hey Aleph. You don't hear it, but just in the Kabbalah, how they write it out, there's different ways of spelling the Shem Havai. This is how they do the tzirufim in different ways. Mm-hmm. So the He b'mili Aleph shu b'chinas ahela ma'oid nala b'chinas Aleph Pella. So we know Aleph is the first letter. Aleph is Alufa Shalom. Aleph is the highest level of our Creator, and this year is Tav Shin Pei Aleph. So it's Shnas Pelos Eren. Okay, so this is the year that we're in, and one of the Pelos that we see is that we're sitting here and we're learning Chassidus. This is a Pella.
What are you laughing? It's a big one out there.
I'm not. No. I'm saying
he was laughing.
He wasn't. It was an exciting laugh. But I'm happy that Michal called you out on it.
Yeah, it was nervous laugh.
Okay, you know what? I'll take it.
What?
No. Good.
No, but it's good. It means something.
Achine, shirish bechinas havaya, shirish is havav he shebeshem havaya, baruch hu nimshu chalamalal bechinas yutke shebeshem. The shirish of bechinas havaya, that's even higher from the Hashem havaya. Yud hu bechinas nekuda ela, hu bechinas mashikasa v'yatzik abari chitzay. The haina reishis and makris havas ha'olamis. The beginning and the makar from the creation of the world, v'schad shusam, and there is chachas ma'ayin liyesh, from nothing to something, the efes hamuchlet, ki b'machshava achas boras ha'olam shekol ha'bechinas b'malakal ha'msov kanal ein el machshava achas. This whole thing that we see over here was just thought of our Creator. I mean, it's frightening. He just had one thought, and galaxies, stars, people, everything, including everything. From Achashverosh, the Adamarish, and everybody. Everybody was in one thought. And that's from the Yud, because the Yud is Keser. Yud is Chachma, and the Kodesh Yud is Keser. Okay? So that's just a Nakuda, a little dot on top of the Yud. That's what's bringing us all this whole spiel. And the first hey, so we have like this. We have the Kodesh Yud, which is Keser, the Yud, which is Chachma, Koyechma, we'll get to that in a minute. And then we have the first hey Rishon, how did this oir mispashit from Keser to Chachma? The hey. He put in a hey, and the hey was, because the one side is the vav, one side is the top, and all that. And then from there he goes further and keeps splitting and splitting. The yud is called the nikra be'echala. It's the beginning from bittul, because koyechma, we can only tap into our Creator with the koyechma, with chachma. What is chachma? Chachma is nothing. How do I tap into nothing? When I have Kabbalah said, when I completely surrender. How do I do this every day? Like you asked before, tzaddikim. So here's the Alter Rebbe telling you. Want to know how you do this every day? You are doing it every day. You're going to work. You're doing your thing. You are surrendering. The fact that you get up every morning and you walk out of bed, that's your first level of bittul, of Kabbalah Zol. Because you had a choice to say, I'm checking out. I'm done. But you have Kabbalah Zol. I get up and I have a job to do. You're not clear with it yet.
But Kabbalah Zol is not coming from the right place. It's
Good.
coming out of pressure of the job.
Yeah, but we spoke about this. But the pressure from the job, when the dog barks, there's levels in that. That I'm going to wake up to the fact that I'm going to see that this is my creator telling me something. So my pressure in the job, that's our whole avodah here. My pressure in the job, my leak in the pipe, my busted business, and my this is all just to wake me up for my creator, because he's everything, he's everywhere. Oh, he's not. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board then. Fine. Who is it? There's an Eivusha, there's my Parnas, and there's my boss, and then there's this, and then there's that. Okay, let's do it again. So this is what we've been doing. Again and again. So now we're finally 28 and 30 or something, whatever the number is, and we're like, it's really not me. So what is it? I mean, it doesn't work, and nobody's working, and now everybody's not working, and everybody's living. So what's going on there? Right? What's the deal? So this is how I get to that point. We spoke about bittul. All the midas, machshava, dibur, and ma'aseh, the kedusha, shehu bechinas vav hey shebeshem nimshach bechinas habittul. Shebechinas vav kei shebeshem nimshach. It comes from bechinas habittul. The hainu. Shekasher is boinen. What does mean constant bittul? As I'm going to be mizboinen. The bittul asagas and Avram l'gaba boris barach she'ein tosh u'makam kloi mamash nechshavu. As I'm going to be mizboinen from my niver brain, and I'm going to realize that I'm not toifus makam at all. Okay, that all my machshavas is kloi nechshavu can nothing. Ela machshava achas. All my thoughts that I'm processing, millions of them in a day, whatever the number is all one thought from my creator. So I'm not even taking up any space over there. As I'm realizing that, I'm following my whole day, and I'm realizing that all that is just one thought of my creator. I'm surrendering completely to my creator. The Alter Rebbe is just giving one way how to get there. One way how to, it gives you an idea how do I fall into my creator's arms? How do I connect? How do I become one with something that's, so he's telling you, listen, Zizka, all the thoughts that you have, everything that you're doing, it's nothing. Yeah, but it is. Okay. So now we have COVID, and all of a sudden, everything that held me hostage all these years, that I couldn't surrender because I had to do my job and work hard, and I have to, what do you mean to rely? Rely nothing. So all that I'm doing, all that came crumbling down. Right, exactly a year ago. The first makkah, the first makkah came in a year, exactly, Erev Purim. And this is where we are right now. And as this is happening, I'm waking up to the fact that this is not my purpose here. So now I have a minute that I can think for real, not just like hold down to it, like I'm going to the Shabbos Torah, and now I got to go back to run back. Because until now we're doing Magatin Chizik. Machazik in the one. We were in Gulis. Yes, Magadav Zurg is Adab Machazik and go, and the Ebster is going to help, and the Rebbe give a bruch, that's like a whole from Yonish, whatever the case is. Now it's a different time. It's not Chizik anymore. This is real time. We're waking up to a fact that we are all connected. There's a bird in the world. He's everywhere. And he's the one. He's our provider. We're going out of goals. I don't know we're going out of goals because we're stopping to work and they're sending the checks. Let's not get in now to the nitty gritty. We're going back, not going back, whatever. We're not dealing with that right now. Let's get with what we saw happening and what's happening. That is waking me up that I'm all one. I'm just am one with my creator. That should give you a space to fall into his arms. Im Yitzeh ha'adam lo'eres ha'av Hashem bilvad. Listen to this one. Im Yitzeh ha'adam lo'eres ha'av. If a person just wants to be ma'ored his love for Hashem bilvad b'medoisev ha'tivim, in his tivius digamidas, arehu mafred shem yudke mevavke. He is separating the yudke from the vavke. Remember we spoke about that the yud, the kurtzas yud is a keser, the yud is the bittul, the koyach ma, mavatel. From there, once I am mavatel, the first bulb in us is bittul. I'm able to connect with echad. I'm able to connect with oneness. Then comes the heinis mispashit. Then comes my midas, the vav k, and I'm bringing it down into machshava dibur mas. I take the 6 midas from the yud k, I put it into the vav, right? I take the yud and the hey and put it into the vav, right? from the Vav, I put it into the Hey, down here, to Machshava Dibur Masa, that we said before, the 3 lines, that it's made out of 3 lines of Machshava Dibur Masa. And as you can see, the Hey, the little leg of the Hey is separate, because we have Machshava Dibur and the Masa, you have to act out, you have to do it, right? Everything is exactly the way the program is written. The Hey is not, the little leg, the Yud of the Hey, it's technically a Yud. It's not connected, because if it was connected, I would be able to act out my Masa also with Machshava. I can sit over here and I can have Machshava Dibur. I can give you everything. I can give you a year of Machshava Dibur. Nothing's going to happen. Just give me Machshava Dibur. My Masa, I have to go out. Why? Because just the Nakuda, the Hey, the little leg of the Hey is separate.
Oh, so that shows that you have to go out.
Yes. That's what gives us the ability to do that, and that's what forces us to do that in order to get something done.
To get up in the morning.
I want you to wake up to how detailed the program is. It's not just like, oh, okay, I have to go do it. No. There is a little leg in the Hey that's what forces me and gives me the ability to walk and go out and do what I'm thinking and talking. Right? So this is all just a Nakuda. Fine. But the Nakuda here is something else. If I'm going to make this about myself, in other words, I'm starting to I feel good, I have feelings, I feel great about my day, I learned something, and I did a chesed, I did amazing. I'm starting to feel it. Yes, mishi oivelu, there's a yesh, there's somebody in my heart that loves, he likes what's going on, I'm doing great things. When I separate the two, when I have my Eibishter, and I have my davening, and I have my work, that means here I am a Mizrachvant, here this, and here I'm a Chayra. This is the Zayin Midas Raz Chadashon. That is a Malik. That's what a Malik does. He separates the Yudke from the Vavke. Shehu Bechinas HaYesh. Shua Oise Magdal Yesh Hepech HaBitl. This is Magdal Hepech HaBitl. In other words, not only that, the chutzpah is that I'm getting it from Bitl, he's giving it to me, and then I'm turning on it, right? We covered that, we spoke about this. And Magdal Yesh Hepech, right? I'm growing the Yesh Hepech HaBitl, the Hepech from Bitl, Shenimshuk Mashem Yudke, right? Because I'm Zech Moshe from Yudke. V'hu HaMachase Master his Galas Shem Yudke. And he covers, and it's Master, this Galas from Shem Yudke. This is the beginning of Hisavas Hashivas Midas Eros, and then that's what's called the Reishis Amalek. Because they're Malek, this is he's starting from the top, right? He's the Yamake of Sitra Acher. I mentioned a person is not doing an Avera only if a Riach Shtus went into him. And what is this Riach Shtus? This is the Ruach that is Mechase and covers Bechinas Abitl. Right? It's Mechase my Bechinas Abitl. What's my Bitl? Where I come from. What does it mean a Chochma Rois Anoilet? Somebody that sees what can be born from nothing. I can go into my Chochma and I can see before it happens, I can see what's going to happen. That's how the Chochma Rois Anoilet. Once Anoilet, the Pshat is that Tippus Moich Av is Chochma, right? The Noilet. I can see what's going to be born. So you have to watch yourself for that. V'zesh en Hashem Shalom. That doesn't mean en Hashem Shalom, because as long as if I have a cover in between me and my where it's coming from, my midas and where it's coming from, I'm starting to think that it's me, then the Shem is not Shalom. V'ini Shalom Shen Ekise Shalom Hine Bechinas Kisei or Case Aleph Perish Bechinas Aleph Alfach Chachma Alfach Bina Hitoida Yardam and Eskasa Bixum Gashem and Kumei Kol Nina Zeron and Moed. Perish Bechinas Hine Bechinas Zet Kisei Case Ka Aleph Perish Bechinas Aleph Alfach. So he's explaining that the Aleph Chachma is Aleph, Alfach Bina. He had Torah, the Bina from the Aleph is Torah, and in the Yard is Rugi Kimen, and it's Gashing away, and in Yuna Gashman like Zram, Sak Zram, and Moed. V'nikru Balash and Kisek, Moed Derech Mashal Kisek, Sheyoshev Olav Adam, Shemashpel Achorev Leishol, just like a bankum, that's Zacharov. Backwards. If somebody is doing that thing where he's separating the Yudke from the Vavke, then this is what he's doing. He's doing a Charan in Bechinas Chatzonis. He's using the Torah of Charan. He's giving koyach to the other side. Yardam and Eslav Shabadiyana Elam Haza Gashman by Kisi Bechinas Merkabel Bechinas Charan Shardam Venishpili. If somebody does that, then he's bringing down a Merkabel Chaz V'Shalom to the other side. V'hine be'esek HaTorah tzolach li'is l'shma. It has to be l'shma. Pirish. What is it l'shma? V'shivel HaTorah atzma. To bring down the Aleph, who is like the nation of the leadership folk, that their mamshech, the beginners, the yichud, afila do in aretz, where there is absolute period and separation. If somebody says, I don't need, I'm sitting and learning, then ich sitz and learn, then he's again, the Torah was not given to you to get higher. The Torah is given to go out there and do with it. V'zeh b'chinas hamalek, al-mafred aleph. Separating
it.
Right. One more piece?
Yeah.
You guys want to make a roch or something? We're not going to pause it this week. No. What are you having, Noah?
What?
What are you having?
The next one
water
was
first.
you're using my glass. Okay. Whatever, it's only after. Just like continuing with the year, not coming back down to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Doing another piece.
What do you mean?
It's like continuing, pushing forward the year without
Oh,
letting.
you're afraid not
Dial in?
Yeah.
Oh, you have a whole week to process that out.
You're afraid you can get too close to the mati, then have to go a little more. I remember the Rebbe's bringing some forum. You were buying into the bringing some forum?
Was it ever?
A couple, right?
No,
You,
I wasn't there.
so, I don't know, when I first came around here and you learn in dinner, you're supposed to, drink. It's, I mean, you read what it says, you're supposed to drink till you get, basically, you're supposed to. I remember I came to the Fabringans in the afternoon after, well, I guess they started, or was it, maybe it was Motzi already, whatever it was. I saw people were not showing up, they wanted to be able to have Rebbe's bring, and just the nature was just, people were not, I mean, there were a few, came in, whatever, drunk, but anyway, but Rebbe always had somebody. People drank, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, not at the Fabringing, people, the Rebbe always had somebody, it was never, I don't know, it was the same person, had somebody drink a lot until they were like doing somersaults on top of the thing, just like they should be like Yossi that for the club, so they could get on with the Fabringing. You knew about that, Moshe?
I know people were drinking. I mean, I didn't know that was the.
Who wrote this? This is the Alter Rebbe?
Yeah. Another one that's asking for the Alter Rebbe.
Huh?
Another one that's asking for the Alter Rebbe.
I gave up asking. I'm calculating who is who.
Oh, you're gonna get to it eventually. You guys are hot. Open a window anyway.
The energy. Whoa.
The Alter Rebbe is who?
We started was quite chilly here, now it's hot.
The Alter Rebbe was the first. The Alter Rebbe was the first. Yeah, the Alter Rebbe.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, is the Alter Rebbe, the Zayda.
Bachshem told the Maghreb is rich and then.
Right. And then the Alter Rebbe, the Mittel Rebbe, the Tzemach Tzedek, Rebbe Marash, Rebbe Rashab, Friedrich Rebbe, and the Rebbe. All right.
Hard to keep track.
There's a song that's how I learned it.
What's
the Srol Baal Shem Tovim with Mittel Rebbe.
The kids learn.
Yeah.
Put it on the group.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll see if they wanna sing it for me. Okay. Ach. Hina, Eitza Yutza Neged Amalek, Mashkosef Kiyada Keska, Begoyme. Finish. How are we gonna deal with this Amalek? Ke beginnes Yad Hulamala beginnes case, met beginnes Yutke. The hand is higher from the case, from the cup. Whereas you pick up your hands above. By Inyan Kiyesh Gimel Yodas. There's Yod Agdoila, Yod Chazaka, Yod Harama. There's 3 yods. Behina b'Yod Agdoila, Ksiva Yad Asilas Yod Agdoila, Bahaya Yudia. Shehi Yedu Mesegas. Right? You can. It goes in. We can be masigit. Yod Agdoila Hu Ahava Shem Oired Adam Madafka Beis Barach. He Mesegas Mergeshes Belev. You have to understand again, and the Alter Rebbe is referencing Yad Agdoila. We have to become present with what we're saying. He's talking in real time. Yad Agdoila, we also see Yad Agdoila. Yeah, we also see Yad Agdoila. The Yidden, at that time, we saw the Yad Agdoila. What did we see that we saw the Yad Agdoila? So whatever was being displayed at that time, the Yidden were able to say, this is the Yad, this is Yad Kivyochel, this is the Yad Hashem. Just the way you are like, I had such a Siyata D'Shmai. I went and I came, okay, you call it Siyata D'Shmai. Over there was such a revelation that they called Yad Agdoila. Like, wow, Yad Agdoila.
During the forum, you talk specifically, or just
no, this was not. He's building now. He's building now. How this was by Chris Yamsuf. Yad Siyata Agdoila.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yad Siyata Agdoila Shosu B'Mitzrayim. Bahai idea. Shehi, you do some mistakes. In other words, how do I get? And the Alter Rebbe is saying, so how did they see that? Okay, what happened over there that they saw it? Oh, this is this Ahava. They were able to be Ma'orer. There was such a bolt of lightning came from up above that they were Ma'orer Ava within themselves, and they had a dvekus. They wanted to go to be dovik in Boire. So that's Hayad Agdoila. How did they see the Yad Agdoila? Again, you follow my issue. How did they see Yad Agdoila? There was an expression of love that they felt in their hearts. They were like, "Oh my God, I want to be dovik. I want only you." Right? That's Yad Agdoila. V'chein b'Yad Chazaka, k'siv v'lechol Yad Chazaka, b'haya idea. Sheyad Chazaka hi hayireh gvura. There is smaller, Ismail Dechel. That was another expression that they were able to see, like a strength, a power of a manifestation, a display of gvura from the left hand. That's Ismail Dechel. Through Kabbalah's Ilma Cheshma B'Kri Shma, he's Deichel and Mashpil Atzmai, like I'm accepting whatever it is. I'm a Kabbalah Ilma Cheshma M'Lachin Amr B'Shman Esa Shalach Lanu V'Ing Yichtonim L'Chalul M'Akeni K'Peshami V'Seba Shman Esa Shalach Lanu Dama Moichel V'Inan HaPesha Loi B'Shavtein Eskinen El B'Sham Ela HaMordim. What does it mean? Imordim Ini Prikas Oil. Morid is Ipshat Prikas Oil. Kolem Ipshat Prikas Oil Bovat Nechshel K'Pesha. We're not talking about somebody that goes and sins and somebody does something on Avera. The fact that he has Prikas Oil, that's already, when we say Slach Lanu, we're asking for Prikas Oil. They should be forgiven for Prikas Oil. L'chein koden Kri Shma, he's going to explain it. Ene Marsh B'Nafshe, V'Mechaf V'Noiche B'Lei Pesha. I have, there's no Pesha, there's nothing. Like, Acha Kabbalah Tzil Machal Shemayim, before Kri Shma, he's like, what did I do? My day is good, I'm fine. But once he does Kabbalah Tzil Machal Shemayim, I'm Chnem of me noch einmal. Ich say, oh, there's my Eibishter and I'm here to serve him. Shemekayim, Shem Tasim, Alecha Melech, he's Mekayim the Pasik, like of the Melech, Alecha Mamish, on you, like us over there, Azeh Nidma Be'enev, Machshem Eslibe Kaliyam, Shaloim Shechal V'yire Zu, V'sich Datum a minute. Ki the Pasha Mordad Parga Machshmai Maltavare. Once I take home my Kabbalah Shem Machshmai once again by Kri Shma, I just realized that I actually did not think of Eibishter. I was Messiah Das from him. I was afraid, and I was not seeing. I was thinking that I'm going to lose the deal, and that and then what am I going to do if I don't make the deal? I was carried away. So now I'll do Il Machashmayim again. So that's why we say Slach Lanu. V'zeh mechal lo malkeni kifishonu. Kolem lefisha hata malkeni shekabal Il Machus Chalenu. Because when someone accepted offense down Il Machus Chal, lakachon emrim kifishonu. Right? That's it. So he's just bringing out a Nekudi here, what Il Machus Shemayim is. How do I deal with Amalek? V'hine ha-smala deichel b'b'chine zu, he b'chine sargoshe b'nafshoy. It's a hergish b'nafshoy. Alright? Either he feels that he's lost, that he's not connected, or a hergish that he wants to connect. I think the small deichel is more rather than that he's away, it's a gevura, it's pushed away, he wants to get closer again. Ach b'b'chine si yadrama k'sev, b'nei so yatsa b'yadrama. But Yad Rama shtat shemerei so yatsa b'yadrama. But b'loi hei ha'idea. Kiyotzim Kesef, Perish Yotzim and a Kli Gvul. When it comes to it's something that they can process in their hearts and in their minds. This is higher because it comes Kiyot Kais Hashem. This is the hand that goes from above Yud Kei Vav Kei. It's above Machshava Dibur Ma'aseh Vav Midas and my Bittul my Chachma and Kesef program. I'm going above that. That's B'Yad Rama. Okay. Maar kamers kos wel leeg als je naast je is te dier abiste man soul wil gaan wie begint is tshuva la shelei amrazal tshuva kam na. This is the follow the steps. He's giving you the steps how to go up there. This is the beginnings of tshuva. Tshuva law was there's the chacham zogen that tshuva kam na. The tshuva is going far veld again tshuva. It's the consciousness. It's a beginner in Boyer. It's called tshuva. Let's just say. So that was there before Velt was created. There was already tshuva in place.
Come back from what?
From having fear.
Well, before there was a war.
No. There was tshuva. The way it was layered, the shtalshalos. So there's the highest level is tshuva, and then Velt. Why? Because like this we can go back. Why did he built it on a system that how did he built it that when I do tshuva I go up right away up there. I bypass everything. When I have a moment of
Tshuva is not humane, right?
It is human, but it's above Talmudas. It's no logic to it. I don't have to sit and think. I have a moment that I just like I feel smell and minat chatkin, and then I go into my. I'm like I have only you.
Don't want to go away from it.
I'll give you a smell example. When I have fear in my business, that is smell What happens when my pipe busts? What happens when there's no deals coming in? What happens when I'm starting to freak out? When I don't have a job? That's a smell docha. And from that place, I come to see my Creator. From that place, I'm like, I need to go to the oil. I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. My pranasa. That's a smell docha moment. That is Ebishter pushing you away.
Just rely on the edge.
Yeah, it's pushing. He's waking you up that way. So now he can go and take you in. But this is what this is. It's back and forth until we chap how to do it. So now once I do, so what happens when he pushes me away and when I go into tshuva? What happens when I do tshuva? I go all the way up. Because when I awake that consciousness of tshuva within me, I am all the way up there. What does it look like? You want to look like before Welt? Before the world was created? When I have a moment of tshuva. When I have a moment of, I'm not afraid, I love you, I'm good, or whatever that means to you. When I'm like, okay, I'm going to change myself and I want to get closer to you and I realize I'm not connected to you. I'm making what does it mean to take a Kabbalah and I'm making an achlata? The Rebbe is very into achlatas. What is achlata? Achlata is that I'm opening myself up to Kabbalah soil. I'm accepting, not about myself. I'm taking on by myself a Kabbalah soil moment. When I have Kabbalah soil, that's it. I'm completely, my needs and my wants are nothing. I'm Moshe Nefesh, all my desires and all my needs. I'm like, okay, I'm accepting whatever's coming. It's going to be okay. That moment you have a Kabbalah soil. From there, one can start building once again.
So the basic we're saying with others, it's basically saying is that it's really Kabbalah's soul is what breaks the Molech.
Yes, that's what the author was saying. Yeah, it's the easiest way. What I get, because once you start trying to make sense of it, you can do a journey to home 20 times. You get into the feelings. He's still going to be out. But my tati, but my mommy, but my tati. Yeah. Exactly. But if I have Kabbalah Zoil, this is what it is. I just broke everything. Right, but before we're ready to let go, we got to go first do a process that I know. Okay, I can let go and learn how to let go. I need to know where it's at. Right? You think about it. Why feel the feeling? Now what? Now that I feel it, why feel the feeling? I need to feel it. I feel it. I've been living with it. I feel it. No, you're not feeling. You don't know what you're feeling. You're one big mess. When I'm zooming into that feeling, now I can let go and I can have Kabbalah Zeh. But before that, what am I letting go of? When a person does tshuva from the depth of his heart, when I have Mesiris Nefesh, my ruach goes back to Elikim. That when it goes back to Elikim, where does it come from? What does it mean Tashiv Elikim? Because it comes from L'Makar Chatzva Mamish. Makar Chatzva is like the place that it started being carved out. We are from Makar Chatzva. V'hini Yisrael all b'machshava. This thing, this creation, this bria called Yisrael was all b'machshava. Pirish, kehine ha'machshava, b'machshava achas boras ha'olam. Listen to this. Machshava achas bar, one machshava created the whole world. V'Yisrael kad milis ba'osim machshava.
Wow. Even before that.
The Yisrael, they were kad milis ba'osim machshava. They were right there. I want to see what it tells. Lias kad ba'osim. No, within that machshava,
they were the first.
They were the first. Yes.
So basically, the world is an outcome of us.
Of course. Everything's built around us, like the onion. We're in the center, the kava yoshev. This is a huge topic for me, so we'll leave it like this. It will come up. We'll elaborate on that. We are higher from the Bechinas Machshava. When I eat tshuva, it goes back to the higher from the source of Welt. You have a moment of tshuva, you tap into a consciousness that higher from Welt. That thing goes into your heart because that's where you're going from Imka to Liba. So it goes into your heart, and from that heart, now you have this new light that you just touched, pumping through your veins, and your dibber, and your machshava, and your eyes, and you look at somebody, you say something to somebody, you bring that out there into Welt. That's why it's called Yad Rama, the Gehoich hand. She remembers misnases, a hype sich, Lamaila b'madregi gevoy ma'od ma'od. It goes high, very high. L'makom she'en yidu in Musi b'sagas and Avrom. It's a place that's higher than our consciousness, than what we can process, because it's higher than Machshava, Dibur, Maisa, and Chachma, and Keser. Okay, and therefore, v'zeh ki Yad beloy hei idea. This is the Yad unde high, unde Machshava, Dibur, Maisa program, Vov Ktsovis, Vov Midas. The Haina beginnes Yad Rama hu lamala akes, higher from the bankel. While beginnes Yudke ki beka Hashem, it's higher from Yudke, which is Yud is the Chachma, and Kodesh Yud is Keser. Ki beka Hashem tziralam, because ki be Yudke is how He created Welt, and this is higher than that when we do tshuva. Shu reishes abri b'machshava achas b'ras olam. Aval beginnes Yad Rama hi lamayla mehem. V'lechen yesh b'zeh mali yisei lis misham melchama l'Hashem ba'amalek. Shlo yamad amalek b'satzav beginnes avai lis mechase imaster imafret Elia gila Hashem shalom akisa shalom. In other words, when I have Kabbalah soil, that means that I have a tshuva moment. I'm going into a program that's higher from this whole amalek thing, and I'm just looking at him, and once I look at him, he disintegrates, he dissolves, it's over. And we have that the power to do that, to melt him away, and then next year again. But slowly we're breaking away pieces.
What Yoda is a tshuva that goes so high, like the what do you call it, the Yad Rama. It's just so high, right back to the source that it just kills them all.
Straight up. And how do let's do it? Let's bring it down.
How the hell is explained this?
Let's bring this down. Let's bring this down like Lamata Masarat Tvachim.
And through Mesiras Nefesh, it said.
Exactly. We'll do Mesiras Nefesh too. Because what's Mesiras Nefesh? Mesiras Nefesh is not me throwing myself in the fire. We did that already. We passed that test. Now Mesiras Nefesh is something else.
Is that right?
What's that?
I am.
Mesiras Nefesh is when I am taking myself out of the picture. When I have complete bittul. When my needs, my desires, my wants, and my icks, and my egg, nothing. I'm completely surrendered. And how do I surrender? Because I have Kabbalah Zed. What's my Kabbalah Zed? That everything is going to be okay. He runs everything. I'm just a vessel. Whatever comes my way. And sometimes I have to... Something comes my way and I have to recognize, no, this is not... No, you can't do this. This is wrong. Right? I don't go like a yukul walking around because that's already klippa. That's already chesed l'yishmal. I'm good, I'm kind, I'm good. There has to be a gvul. We are set up with gvul. That's how we activate earth to come down. We have to keep it in a proper box. And the better the box is, the better the pull is. But with Kabbalah's oil, once I have Kabbalah's oil, then all my fears are just breaking away because everything is Eibishter. It has nothing to do with me. Who am I? I am just that. By me being Amalek takes that oil that comes out of the flashlight from the sun, and he's like, "Who am I? I'm looking to find myself." But when I have Kabbalah Zed, I'm like, "This is the sun. I'm just a light from the sun."
It's surrender.
Yeah.
It's deeper than surrender.
It's recognizing, and it's surrender.
It is surrender.
Of course, it's surrender. So this is basically this is Amalek, and this is what we're doing for him. This is what we're doing for him. We're going into a place of absolute bittul, adal yada. How do we do that? By intoxicating. Right? This is how we do that. Because when we have time to think, we're fighting with ourselves. We get in our own way. So drink, and you tap into that to the Adal Yada.
But the ultimate goal is to get to it with full consciousness.
Right. Same
Um,
Oh, what do you mean? Do you mean get to Adal Yod with conscious? Like
Yeah.
be conscious that you're in Adal Yod?
Without drinking.
No, you gotta drink. There's a chiyuv to drink.
I'm not talking about Purim. I'm talking about Stamazoid.
Oh.
The goal is
the
to
Rebbe,
get...
the Rebbe every Farbrengen, he forced the people to drink.
Oh, yeah?
I'm sending the video. Zog L'chaim, what? It wasn't Chaz v'Shalom drunk.
I'm drinking a lot.
No. I'm saying to open it up. You're in the presence of a tzaddik. It's a different thing. I'm saying just to.
No, because you don't need to drink. I mean, Purim is a chiyuv to drink
Right.
Adal Yod, but just to open your mind up to get to a
You
little higher level, you don't
Yeah.
need to
The
drink so
presence
much.
of the tzaddik, getting a l'chaim, you say l'chaim, they're looking, you get it,
Yeah, how much you-
lifts you up.
How much you need to drink on Shabbos? I mean, you drink and you feel good. You go out, you have a little thing, and it opens up. Especially during the week, you get drunk much faster than on Shabbos because you're so out of yourself that a little bit is already throwing you off, right? The other thing is Mesiras Nefesh is just an interesting nekuda how to do Mesiras Nefesh by Shema. When you do, but we can do Mesiras Nefesh by Shema Yisrael. How do you do that? Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. When you do Echad, you surrender everything. You even stop your breath. You just go into Echad. That means Mesiras Nefesh. I'm giving over my Nefesh. It doesn't have to be Chaz v'Sholom Mesiras Nefesh on a fire. It's Mesiras Nefesh like I am just one and stay there for a minute. That is tapping into that Echad moment. Okay, let me just see if we're gonna just to finish up. When I pray, when I could put him on Shem Apur, he snaps his home, she'll prepare a good shot to do this, so go with Shem Akipirim. Okay. Ik kwam aan de Shemechas waar skibbels uit het beraadsen, maar deze zie snap je een makker gaat van wel allemaal beginnen ze allemaal zo dat je gaat met Adam. Ik begin ze
Can you explain just one line?
Yes.
Further down. מה שהיכנן שבו שנסרו במעגולס, זה סקף יסת האחר וסהפכה חשויך לנהוירה, נעשה מהם מכינס לווישן.
Okay, so you guys want to go or are you good? 3 more minutes? Moshe? Alten?
Go ahead.
Gal, yeah?
No, yes, me, I'm there, I believe.
Okay. Let's do the piece before. Let's do real. We'll roll down and then we'll take out the nekudas. V'hina Meshorish Nachash Hu Amalek Yotze Tzefa Hu Haman. From Amalek is Rozikim from the Shorish Nachash, which is Amalek, is Rozikim Tzefa. This is Haman. Shehu Hu Bechinas Amalek. Chazos V'Gnos Meshem Yudke. He's yearning from Yudke. V'Zevike Chamal Salvish V'Satzitz V'Yushes Mordechai. Kina Amrazah Shmi Im Yudke Shesa. Shmi, the letter is Shmi, Shin Mem Yud, and Yudke is Gematria 365, just like you saw Mitzvahs Lo Yisese. Shmiras Mitzvahs Lo Yisese, Hu Gili, Bechinas Shem Yudke. The Shmiras Mitzvahs Lo Yisese is a Gili from Bechinas Yudke. Ki Iker Lo Yisese, Shaloi Lias Kisi Vehester Oiden Sa Baruch Hu. What is this S and Lo? S and Lo Yisese is just like a, it's a carved out. Let's just say there is I like to look at it that way. You have the toaster oven that has the rod that goes around, right?
Coils.
The coils, right? So I have the coil that lights up, but then I also have around the coil that doesn't light up, right? The what's around it that doesn't light. So there's the S and the lois S. So automatically, if there is an S, if there is a coil, there's something that moves around. There's empty space in the coil that's not lit up, right?
What?
You follow what I'm saying?
I'm not.
I believe you. I just don't.
No,
I never stuck my head in the oven to like really check.
So you have the old. You have a pen? Let me have a pen.
You mean the thing that holds it?
No.
There's an air bubble going around.
There you go. This is the so like this. Right? This is the toaster, right? I have these.
Mm-hmm.
This is what lights up.
Yeah.
Okay, so automatically this lights up. What's around it? This is what follows through. It doesn't light up. Okay, it's something that's all, if the table is here, this table is taking up space. When does this space become relevant? When there's a table. When I take out the table, it's not relevant, right? So the fact that there's a table, there's something around the table. Okay? Thank you.
It's like the dark shadow shows that there's the light.
Exactly. So the essa is the lit rod, and what goes around it is the lois essa. So because it has to automatically be there. So Eibishter is telling you, do that, don't do this. So we get all caught up in it. Just focus on the light. Okay, Shishmiris mitzvah lois the shmir when even shomer of a mitzvah lois who gila b'chin Hashem Yudke. That holds space for the Shem Yudke. What is that empty space that's not lit up? That's Yudke. What's Yudke? We covered it already. Yudke is the Kesser and Chachma. So we can't see it, we can't act it out because it's Lamayla Masechel. It's just there. So the beauty of it is that Creator is also showing us what goes on and what we can't see in Chachma. It's a lois hasen. That it shouldn't be. We shouldn't hide over the Ein Sabaruch. Ramach mitzvahs esse, and I'm sure Ein Sabaruch v'drasav tachtonim. The Ramach mitzvahs esse, the 248 esses, that's the fire that lights up. This is Tamshuch van Ein Sabaruch v'drasav tachtonim, and his dwelling home doing tachten. V'gad l'koyich gilu yakise v'este ikira oira mashach z'shtal shel or she'en elaziv arba alma. V'gad l'koyich gilu yakise. The gili from the kisse v'heste ikira oir mamshachas ha'oir she'en elaziv arba alma. This is gresse the koyich gili from the kisse from the heste ikira whatever. V'hina haman hu ha-klipa ha-machase master b'chin Hashem yudke shu makar loises. So Haman is the klipa that is machase master b'chin Hashem yudke shu makar loises. In other words, he has this Haman because he's a choshech program, and loises Cholila is alma this. It's choshech. It's not revealed. We don't know what it is. It's a loises. The Rebbe says no because it's yudke. It's in chachma. We don't know what it is. So this Haman, that's where he has a chuzah. That's where klipa can be yonik. He can say, oh, there's no light. Ich manduchen balabus. Ich moch nicht light. That's why, that's what it says, is you hold back your sitracha, say no to your temptation, to your lois. I told you not to do that. And then the sitracha comes in and says, do that. How can he say do that? Because I don't see the oil in it, so I can be fooled. So it says the Alter Rebbe, we covered already in Tanya, to have a skafi of sitracha. And what happens when I say no to you? Then all of a sudden the lois becomes light. That's how I act out a lois. Okay? And this hapach from Chashoichel and Hode from this lois becomes levushim with susim beginnes mardechem. It becomes a levush and the feden, the susim. It's a ganze topic in Az Yosher, but whatever. The oisis have susim. Beginnes mardechem. What is this beginnes mardechem? Who beginnes makram shachas mitzvah esse. Mardechem is the beginner am shachas and mitzvah esse. Shal levush nemish from madregal yosek mashikos from makamacher. The levush comes from a hechere platz. From the Essa. The lois is from a higher place. How do we know it's higher? Because it's too high for us. We can't act that out. The Essa we can act out. We can do it in Racha. But the lois is higher. Comes from a higher place from a kusha.
And that's why
we can't eat it.
Yeah, then it's going to be...
yes.
Then it's going to be Bashamai.
Correct. All right. So this is what happens. So now when I hold back, when I don't do the lois Essa, and I tell the Sitra Acha that no, more than no, Alter Rebbe goes wild last week on the Sitra Acha. So that once I eradicate him, so what's happening is I'm being megala the light in the lois Essa, and when I'm being megala the light in the lois Essa, there becomes a levush and a sus for me, right? When I say no, I'm not going to do this over there. I get a levush and I get now a horse that's running for me. And what can I do then? Then I can be mekabel matcha. I can see the oil, the revealed oil, because unrevealed oil looks like a busted pipe. That's an unrevealed oil. So you want to make sure these oil they get revealed, because too much of that oil is we can't see it, because everything is eibush. Why does it hurt sometimes? It's not
small dach.
It's small dach, and it's also not a revealed oil.
That's what drove Haman nuts, and Mordechai wouldn't bow down to him.
Exactly.
The whole thing, everybody bowed down to Mordechai.
Very good. Yeah. On that level, Haman needed him to bow down to him because he wanted that oil, and Malchut would not give it to him.
And he couldn't take it.
Yeah, we're not going to. If we're going to be zoche, it's going to be fast. The Mashiach is going to come. Lo zacha be'ita, it's going to be in be'ita. V'hine baba eis ketz Mashiach, which is, hey, it's right now. B'mheir b'mene, ksiv bala mavis l'netzach. It's going to be the mavis, death is going to be swallowed up forever. V'asruach hatuma avir, and the rich hatuma l'chavostam of Finland, she yekulam v'avudum l'gamma shli b'hem aliyah l'kedusha. They're not going to have any aliyah l'kedusha. Ma'asha enken adeta shivas m'shil Yisrael l'mei agolos. The skafas yitrach v'shaf k'shoich l'noide. Nas v'em mechinas levushin. Darach dem was in mei golos in zugma skafas yitrach and shaf k'shoich l'noide wird a lot of levushin. L'chein omer ma'ai kachas levush v'sasus dahayin shibu b'chinas achashenu. So kommen schnell. Was Jochel liest man say Salavush was Asus. Mashan Kashi beite Tobit Lagamer. Whatever that means, I don't know what it means. I don't think I would want to know what it means, but fine. Okay, well, I guess we'll go to the end. Wenn Purim, wir haben Purim beginnen Agnes, wir haben Purim Prische Kmoy Purim. Nikre Purim Hashem Pur, ki snasa someone shehipel Pur who agorel shratze ledamas lo isa agorel shvuyem Purim. שכמו שיום פירם מבחינת שיבלה לפני השם תתהר וכך בפורים מזרח ישראל לשיבלה על די דברת סוימס וזה קוסם במסירת נפש ממש על די קידוש השם שהרי המלוי ביקש אל לעבוד את היהודים ואם הוי כפם חד ושום לא היו עושים להם כלום. Right? He just wanted them to give up the Judaism. כמאמר רזל. give up the Yiddishkeit. כמאמר רזל. שהוא מייך השווירש קיבלו את התורה ברצן. המייך השווירש הם זגנים את התורה ברצן. אבל די זה הוי נסיס נפשון ומקי חד זה מהגבוה למעלה ובחינס אלו מחשב ותשובה קד מלוידם. Dadurch dem was am mit Makabel gewen beratzen, was am mit Makabel beratzen, weil Homer hat gesagt, hemachos, big the group zu mir, alles hat sein geht, dann muss ich no. Through that they were able to reach the Zolda Madraga vi Yom Kippur. They got up all the way up there, but it was something that we did, not that Eibishter was doing for us. In Kippur, we bring the Shepsel there, and then Eibishter takes care of it. Now we had the Mesiris Nefesh. We were the Sarla Zazel. And we reached through our tshuva over Amalek, because only Amalek can push us up to such a high level of tshuva that I'm going to Makar Chatzra.
Because his hatred was also my limit on time, but
Forgets from the hatred, because he's...
No, I'm just saying that the whole thing of Malek is that it's higher than Tam B'das.
Correct.
There's no reason. It's just...
So through my... He pushes me in, when he cools me off, and I have to come back from that, I have to I have to tap into my highest level. The highest levels. He pushes me up all the way. I can get stuck there, God forbid, but I can... Purim is the time that we go above it. Kiyot Kais, we go, our hands reach up to the top, and it goes to all of the Machshava.
The small Mocha was so huge.
Exactly, yes. The Mocha Chatza, Gvola Mala, beginnen ze allemaal Machshava, Tshuva Kat Mel Oilem. Beginnen, Gole Gili beginnen zu Benefesh, weer met Kapirim. Gili beginnen zu Benefesh, weer met Kapirim. This type of his galas in Yom Kippur, ein bar Gili shtir. It's such a high galas that there's no... You guys got to listen to this. Look what's going on here. This level is so intense that in Kippur, in order for us to download this level of oil, we're not allowed to eat. We're going into angel mode. Avol bepurim, shubizman agalas, so they shtir say an dafke. Shubichinas yana mashvaka dan bitla das vasak mashgas. Like we're bringing them into galas. We're bringing in boy in Welt, in the physical. I'm bringing them into my studio, my home, my guitar. I'm bringing them into everywhere. That's the power we have in Purim.
It says when Mashiach comes, Purim will stay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess the difference between Purim and Yom Kippur is?
What the difference is?
Yeah.
Yom Kippur is the boyde gettens. Insbrengen aan Shabs na shikter of shefer. Piram inzemer gemacht David. Inzemer rover gaan de bezoeken. Some achieve getting.
Right, and about eating.
Yom Kippur it's so intense.
Yeah.
That we're not allowed to eat. Just like Shabbos, we're not allowed to drive.
Yeah.
But Piram the oil it's coming down on such a low level that we're able to bring it down into that we're able to eat and drink. That we have to eat and drink. We have to eat and drink because we're bringing it down all the way lamata.
Wow.
So I heard a drush of someone he quoted from Tanya that the reason all Yom Tovim are going to be brutal besides Purim is because of that, because Purim is what brings us closer to the Ge'ila. So when the Ge'ila comes, you're going to be mevatel the thing that brought you closer to that.
Right.
You can't do that. So that's why all Yom Tovim are going to be brutal besides Purim.
More so, it's we as a result of Purim we are in Gula. In other words.
Yeah, that's what he said.
What does Kriyas Yamsuf look like? We are a result of Kriyas Yamsuf. If not for Kriyas Yamsuf, we wouldn't have Simcha. We wouldn't have Simcha if not for Kriyas Yamsuf.
Right.
Because when Kriyas Yamsuf happened, it's called Be'esana, which is it was done with it's a ganze Sasiche, but it's Kriyas Yamsuf Simcha was revealed. Eibishter Simcha was revealed in Welt. And this is
the Yodak Doyle and Yodak
exactly. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So because of that, we have, and not only that, it's called Be'esana. The Rebbe goes in on a whole beautiful sikha about it's the diak of the Rebbe, like one word. Why does it say Esana? Esana is a taich that the Yamsuf went back to the way it was and stronger than when it was created. Like why stronger? Was so schlecht als ooit? Was is given? The kasha is because the Rebbe saw a diak there. Why? Because the shot is that. He goes into a whole pilpul that it was a simcha moment. The Kriyas Yamsuf was done with simcha. It's built on the Alter Rebbe's Amaimer, on Al Zesher. And once there was simcha, so the simcha keeps rejuvenating the water. That's why the Irish told him, Tomer, if you're going to split, I'm going to make you stronger than you were before. If not, it's going to be like if you never existed. We wouldn't even know there was water. There would be no significance of water. We would be different beings right now. Right? So because he split, now he has the simcha in him. He's the one that brings, just like water, the simcha.
Shaftamayim
Shaftamayim basusan, exactly. Yeah. All right. One more shtickle. This you guys don't have it, but I have one. The Chayiv Enish the Besima Benissa. I mentioned Mechiv to be Besima Bepiria. The beginners Yana Mashakir with Yana Mashakir. I have every other question if mashke is good or if yain. So what we do over here is we drink a glass of wine because there isn't enough wine that can get a bottle shechasit mashake, and we really don't want to, go down that road. So what we do is we drink a cup of wine to make a lagafen, and then we go to mashke. Yeah, of course they figured it out easily. We have to go to the point that you don't know the difference. Ki order hamen who a klipa machase master shem yudke beginnes alloy sase in barach matige ham shavas a mitzvah is esse beginnes wafke weil they beginnes yana mashak who beginnes bittel a saga that's how mavatal my saga beginnes tshuva la oile normal beginnes yudke beginnes wafke bepurim is gala beginnes zu begol nefish. This is the code they wanted to make. I knew he's not just repeating himself. And Purim is misgal the beginnes zu begol nefish beglal, and a yidden nefesh is doing as galas from de beginnen in Purim. Va'ara me beginnen zu misgala k'tzatz b'chol yom. In ha'ara from de beginnen misgala yidden too. Hey, listen to this. Befrat b'kri shma b'mesiris nefesh. Befrat and kri shma b'mesiris nefesh. Be'echet ve'hafta l'kol chad l'tim shuru delay.
That was before that you brought that up? So it's not repeated, or
No, that was a
So we gotta drink everything.
So I remember I was telling you guys before, I want to make this nekuda here, that this is what means, we said before, but mean nimlach. When Ishmasayim Minel, the Eibishter was nimlach ben Shasam Shal Tzadikim.
Yeah.
That's what it means to be in one of the things that are happening in the conversation that the Eibishter was discussing before he was creating the Welt, is as you start learning, you realize you see it here, and then you talk about it, and you find it that in Tanya, you find it in Gemara, everything is getting connected. This is the nimlach. This is the conversation with the tzaddikim. If you want to know what the Eibishter spoke about with the tzaddikim, this is the conversation he had. All right, I'm going to elaborate on that. But it's we were mentioning before, we see his name is Kriya Shema, and then the Alter Rebbe is writing it. So that means that we're in the conversation.